Hello YouTube, Shatteredfriend Gaming here, and I'm bringing you pretty much an opinion video that I want you guys to interact with. So before we go any further, please consider leaving a like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. I want to hear your thoughts, but what I'm going to be discussing today is I'm going to try and discuss why this game may not be the Fallout for you if you're looking for a single player Fallout experience. Now, I tried recording a couple other times, and this can be a long topic. I'm going to try and keep it short. By no way does this video encompass everything I think, or possibly can, because I'm going to keep this video short. But the reason I don't think this would be a great single player Fallout game for most people who are looking for a single player Fallout game is because it's heavily focused on the multiplayer / co-op experience of the game. Every single time I've gone venturing out on my own in Appalachia, I just was not having fun. The world felt extremely barren. The game throws mobs at you randomly with no reason or rhyme. Like, when I was a level 3, I was walking down the road to go to one of the main towns to do a quest because I was by myself. And it just threw a group, no, I was a level 4, but it threw a group of ghouls at me, like 10 ghouls. I had to go running back to the town where I knew there was at least a couple other people, and I was just like, I need help, and I was the only one who fought the ghouls. So it just does stuff like that that makes it not fun. And on top of that, I played with a person who never played a Fallout game before, and his opinion was pretty much like, this game's very boring, like there's nothing here, the story makes no sense. And to be granted, the story doesn't make a sense. Their story that they're telling with Fallout 76 is your story. They want you to be the story. So how are you going to make the story? But that leads into a lot of different problems. If you have someone who wants to be a raider in their own story, they're going around, they're griefing almost everyone else because, let's be honest, well, yeah, I'm just going to say, let's be honest. All the people I played with in Fallout 76, they don't enjoy the PvP aspect of the game. They find it extremely annoying, they hate it, they just want to go around, kill mobs, and build cool stuff with their buddies, which is completely understandable. And on top of that, when I was going off on my own and I was doing single player stuff, it felt like a lot more people griefed you when you were being a single player. They would come up to you, randomly attack you when you first encountered them, than if you, let's say, you were walking with someone else. So there's kind of a safeties in number type of thing there, which is very interesting, to say the least. And on top of that, the world just feels very barren. Like, and the reason I say for that is because in Fallout 3, when you killed enemies, they never respawned. So you had the small map when you went through an area and you killed everyone and no one's there. Oh no, Jimmy that you killed in the corner was belonging to a quest. You can't do that quest anymore. Thank goodness with recent technological advances and recent game designs, we don't have to worry about that as much anymore. But it was still an issue. But in Fallout New Vegas, they kind of fixed that problem by when you went through an area and you killed, let's say, Jimmy and his family of 4, Jimmy and his family of 4 would respawn after a certain amount of time, so you didn't have to worry. And they also kind of made it so you couldn't kill certain NPCs until you got past a certain point in the story, which was a nice little touch because they kind of took the essentials, but then they only brought it to where they were essential at. And in 4, you really didn't have that. Almost all NPCs that were named were essential, and the enemies that spawned in, like, the map was bigger, so it felt a little bit more barren, but it felt spread out because you could run down the street, get to a city, have it full of enemies, run down the highway, get to another city, have it full of enemies, and it felt fun like that. It was really amazing. It was a really fun experience. In this game, you can't run down the street, find a town full of enemies, and run off to another street, another like secluded cabin and find a full of enemies. Maybe the secluded cabin you could find full of enemies, but the towns and stuff you really can't because that's where all the people are going. They make it important for you to go there, so they're not going to throw it full of mobs that just respawn when more and more people show up. That's just going to be a nightmare. I've already had that happen where I load into games to play, but I'm loaded into an event that I didn't want to be a part of. That could be my problem because, I logged off in the event area, but it shouldn't happen when I load right in that I should be in an event. It shouldn't happen when I load right in, I'm already getting attacked by a group of enemies, and I don't even have times to get my bearings of where I was put at, because the game doesn't log you in right where you left off. It brings you to the nearest town that you visited, and then from there you go. So that was annoying right there. Another thing that's annoying is the fact that there's only like 3 enemy types that you'll ever see. You'll see the Scorched, you'll see the Ghoul, the Feral Ghouls, and you'll see Super Mutants. I haven't seen anything else. I've seen Dead Raiders, which makes sense. And robots, sorry, 4 groups. So there's going to be a ton of robots, a ton of Scorched, and a ton of Super Mutants, and a ton of Feral Ghouls. Occasionally you'll find a Ragstag, occasionally you'll find a Radroach, all that stuff. I had a couple of friends run into Deathclaws. I have not run into one yet, so I can't comment on that. I've also had some, we ran into a Yogway, but that was like a rare occasion. So it feels very boring, the game, when you're going through and you're playing it. So that's why I don't think, another thing, if you're playing it single player, you're going to enjoy it, because it's a very boring game by yourself. Another thing that sucks is when you go to places that you first discover, and you've just discovered it. I should say it's the same thing when you first discover it, but you just got there, you've never been there, and you wanted to discover it. The thing with those is half the time an event starts as soon as you get there. So they're already throwing events at you like it's nothing, and it's like, what the heck is going on with this game? I feel like they didn't even know what they wanted with this game. Like, they wanted to make a single player experience that people were going to have fun with, probably because of community backlash, and they were like, oh, we didn't account for people wanting to play single player on a Fallout game. What are we going to do? I'm not going to bash them anymore, it's just going to be that little bit. But that's what the single player aspect feels like in the game. You can tell as soon as you load in and you get in that first party and you're all running towards the same thing, and you get that amazing feeling like this is what the game was meant to be, was a multiplayer experience, running around the wasteland or Appalachia with your friends. It's a great feeling. And then when you do the same thing but by yourself, you're sitting there and you're like, I'm kind of bored. Like, what was the point of this? And you don't feel the shine of it. So those are some things right there. You can tell they heavily geared it towards like events. You can do them solo, but it's going to require you to like really grind it out. Because after learning the Poseidon event, I have a strong, confident feeling that lower the Poseidon energy, because that's where our group station like almost all the time because of all the great resources that is produced there. But we learn every single time to, like, not every time, but I did it 2 times the event, so I learned the steps pretty quick. I can go through and I can easily do the steps. The only thing that'll slow me down is the mobs that are already in there, and the mobs that spawn in when you take too long to go through and do a certain area. So those aren't fun. We're almost towards the end of the video here. I want to make this a shorter video, something easier to sit down, kind of do whatever you want to do, and just listen and have fun, and be like, once it's over, comment and all that fun stuff, so I can also interact with you guys again. That's what I'm expecting from anyone who clicks on this video, is for interaction. I want to see what you guys have to say. I want to see if you agree with me. But like I said, this video isn't going to encompass everything that I think about Fallout 76, because that's going to be a much longer video. And once the game fully releases, I think that's when I'll do something like that. It's kind of a review that way, either if you should wait, buy it, or whatnot. Well, those are just some of the things right now that I want to touch upon, is the loneliness that you feel, the obvious fun it is to run around with a group of friends and go to an area you're not supposed to go to, but you still manage to go through it because all your friends are working together in a group. It's just a much better feeling than when you're running by yourself. And a lot of the stuff that's in the game, like the griefing towards single player, and I mean, this is a game that they're wanting to support for years to come, so hopefully they change it and they make a lot of improvements more towards the single player experience that's funner and it's just more interesting. And I know the community that's already spawned around this game is pretty toxic, like, I'm not even going to lie. I went on Twitter to engage with some people who were, one person was like, oh, I'm not having any of these problems that you guys are having, because everyone was saying, he pretty much was making fun of people. He was like, I don't know why you couldn't take him down when I did by myself, and just everyone started being like, well, this is, you know, why, blah blah blah, nonstop. And the dude was just extremely toxic, but I got involved with it, and then all the people who came to his aid just were really toxic, and I was like, dude, this game, it only had a beta, and the community already surrounding it is making me not want to play anymore. So that's another reason why it's hard to take it serious as a single player experience when you have that already growing in the mixture. All the video also in this, you know, this video right here is my own video footage, so there's no one else I took from. It's gonna be a little bit, you know, quieter. You're not really gonna hear much about the game or game footage audio because I took this from a live stream. I tried doing a recording, but my recording software, I've been having a lot of problems with my recording software on my, you know, for my PS4 and my Windows and all that, not actually recording stuff, so it lost the footage. But we're coming towards the end here. I want to make it a 10-minute long video, but it's 11, that's alright. But if you all enjoyed it, please consider leaving a like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. I actually do want you guys to comment, and like I said, this by no way, you know, counts for everything I think about this game. Like, that would be at least 30-minute long video right there, and I don't want it to be a 30-minute long video. So I'll catch you all in the next one. This has been Shatteredfriend Gaming, and I'm signing off. Bye bye.